Gentlemen, I'd like to extend my greetings to the pastors of the church, to the elders, the bishops, and every elder, and everyone. It is really an honor to be standing here with you today and address a topic that I'm very passionate about. I'm sure you're going to be pretty excited, ladies. Okay, so as the beautiful Dr. Tanzi has introduced me, I'm Dr. Mabundza. I really love to be addressed by the name. My first name is Mabundza. All right, so today we'll be addressing skin care. How as ladies we should be taking care of our skin, the skin of our children, and how to minimize. We cannot totally eliminate aging, but we can slow down the process. Okay, and what we can do once there are those, little bit of, smallanyana undesirable things here and there, like our wrinkles and pigmentation. All right, so I thought that I'll start by just discussing, the basics about skin. I'm sure we all know this, that the type of skin that we all have. So, I'm sure we all go to Clis or Discam and start looking around for things that we can use on our skin. So for us to know what to choose from the shelves, we need to know what our skin type is. So we have really about 4 basic types of skin. We have the normal skin for those who are genetically lucky. They'll have a normal skin. They'll not be worried about anything. Their skin is well balanced. It's clear. It's not oily. It's not dry. It's really sensitive. They can apply anything on the skin, and they tell me that, Doc, but me, I use Halboma Vaseline. I'm not worried. Look at my skin. Well, I will not encourage it for the face, but for the body, maybe. Okay, and then we'll have dry skin, which is quite problematic. Your skin will be flaky, it will be itchy, it will have a rough texture, dull color, and you have that tight, taut feeling with your skin. This will be due to genetically your skin cannot make and hold on to the natural oils that our skin makes. And it will also fail to maintain hydration. So people with dry skin will have problems, especially in winter. It will be a bit dry in the summer, but to be worse so in the winter. And then here we recommend you to change your moisturizers as per the severity of the dryness, which we'll discuss. And then some people will complain of an oily skin, which is greasy. They will say, Doc, I can fry an egg on my skin, really. We all don't like that. So oily skin will be greasy, it will be shiny, rough, and the skin that is oily prone, it is acne prone, and it will have a bit of some large pores. Okay, then we have a combination skin, and then we should be oily on the forehead, chin, and the nose, but dry on the cheeks. It can be very tricky to deal with it because you don't know what moisturizers to use in the skin that is, a combination. And then sensitive skin, very problematic skin. It easily reacts to products applied on the skin. It will sting. After applying a product, most products, it will sting, it will become red, you'll get allergic rashes, very difficult to deal with. Okay, so this is just an example of a combination skin where you have oiliness there on the forehead, on the nose, chin, but the lips, the cheeks will remain dry. And then how do we take care of your skin? I'm sure we all know this. We're just going to add some meat to it. It's important to cleanse our skin, to tone, moisturize, and use sunblock. All right. Okay, maybe with the toners, since we're living in a very difficult times economically, maybe some people decide, maybe I'll skip toning because all these things are very, very expensive. The beauty industry is a multi-million, it's a billion, not even million, it's a $1 billion industry. These things are very, very expensive. Okay, so we cleanse, we tone, we moisturize, and we do and we apply sunblock. We can't skip, you can skip toning, but you can never skip cleansing, moisturizing, and sunblock. Very, very important. we will discuss this. So why must we, what do we do? So it's very important to cleanse the skin. We want to remove all the pollutants from the air. We want to remove the sweat from night and day, residue from the air. We want to remove all those, the residue from the skin products that we apply to morning and night. We want to remove all the dead cells and oils from our skin because we want to avoid now the clogging of the pores, the inflammation, and the acne that can result from dirt accumulating on our skin. So it's very, very important to cleanse our skin. What do we use when we cleanse our skin? Always use gently products. It's very important to use gently products that are pH balanced. It's very important to check. When you buy your moisturizer, you check your bar, your soap, it must be pH balanced. Why? Because especially the face, facial skin is acidic. It has a pH of around 5.5 to 6.5. You don't want to use something harsher, less or more than that, especially alkaline, like I will say, like your soap, So we have a bar. Let's say they start with a bar and we have a soap. I'm sure we all remember from high school and primary school that soaps are alkaline. So we don't encourage we don't encourage to use soaps on facial. We can use them on the body, but not on facial skin. Even the beautiful sunlight that we like, you cannot use it on your face. It is quite harsh. It will strip the face of its natural oils and moisture. So when we wash our faces, we use a gently face moisturizer or a bar that's pH balanced. Examples of bars are your pure glycerin soap or your Dove. Dove is also not it's a bar, not a soap, because it is pH balanced. So if you choose to go on the much more cheaper route and you choose to use a bar for your face, please use a pH balanced one, not a soap, like the one that will have the most sunlight. But preferably, please use a gently face wash, pH balanced. Okay, and then for our teenagers, we will introduce them to this method of washing the face that we use our hand. We never use a face cloth for the face. I'm sure we all know this. Sometimes we feel like, I apply so much makeup, I need to really scrub. We don't do that to the face. We should actually, just like they do it on TV, gently motions using our hands. Very, very important. If we do that, you strip now the natural oils, the natural moisture. The skin responds by making more oil because you've stripped it of its natural oils. You've disrupted the balance to respond by making more oil. We don't want that. So we just want to use our hands gently like that. Okay. Okay, so this we've addressed that please no soaps from today. We learned no soap. We can use our sunlight for the body, but we're not going to use it for the face. Rather, we'll buy our teenagers Dove soap or pure glycerin to use on the face. All right. Okay. So this we've addressed. So now we know this. So sometimes when you are on the, I get confused. So I just wait for all that's worth, I went to Clicks yesterday to check. Oh my goodness. I was like, these ladies get so confused when they get here. Like shelves upon shelves upon shelves. Yes, but it's very important to simplify your skin routine, okay? It doesn't mean that the more you use, the better results you're gonna get. Stick to a simple routine. You just moisturize, tone if you want to tone, and then you just cleanse, tone, moisturize, and sunblock. What product to use as pocket dependent, but we'll discuss that. But it's very important to check that your cleansers are moisturizing as well, right? So you can just quickly check if they contain glycerin, they contain ceramides. For the more costly one, they'll contain hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. I'm sure that we've seen these. I saw all the things that are written, hyaluronic acid, they're written retinol. Yeah, so it's very important just to check. These are just moisturizing ingredient because we don't want you to come out of the shower with a very tight skin. That feeling, that very, very tight skin. So it's very important for the for the cleansers to be moisturizing as well, to have that moisturizing effect, especially for people with dry skin. Okay. All right, so what type of cleansers should you go for? If you have dry skin, so you see at the shops, they have that milky thing, they call it a milk, which is a cream cleanser, and they have a gel. So if you have a dry skin, you should go for a cream cleanser. These ones, they are more gently, and they contain a lot of moisturizing ingredients, because remember that if you've got dry skin, your skin lacks these natural oils and cannot hold on to moisture. So while cleansing, you need to replenish these as well. All right, and then for your oily skin, you go for the gel type, those foamy gel type cleansers, because you want to remove the oil. And you don't want to remove excess of these oils. So it's good just to use those ones, not the soap, because the soap will then remove excess. All right, and then we go to toning. So with toning, so what a toner does is, it will just remove the extra dirt left after cleansing, and it will also balance the pH of your skin. All right, and it is just lightly moisturized as well. So it's very good to use a toner if you can afford it, just to remove that extra dirt and to balance the skin, especially the pH of the skin, to just retain it to its natural acidic state. Okay, and then with the toners, please use gently products as well, like we stated, like all alcohol-free, because alcohol can be a bit harsh, so it's important to use alcohol-free toners. And then there's that, I'm sure you've seen, the micellar water. You're wondering, now what do I choose? Toner or micellar water? A micellar water is just some type of a cleanser that you don't even you don't need to wash off. It's very good to use when you're traveling. It's just quickly, just cleanse the skin with, it will cleanse and it will moisturize, all right? And you don't have to wash it off. It can be a problem if you've applied heavy makeup on the skin, it will not cleanse and tone enough. So that's just the difference. And then for us ladies, ladies my age, it's very, very important to use serums. Actually, the earlier you start, the better. All right, so I recommend that for ladies in their 20s, they start using serums as well. Very important. You cannot skip serums. I've had many ladies who come to my office and say, "Hi, Doc, I just apply to my face the same thing I apply on my body." It's the cardinal sin. It's the cardinal sin. We can't do that. Okay, so on the face, we use cosmetics because they have active ingredients that will deliver to the skin. This is why it is a billion-dollar industry. And the skin actually needs that. So the Nivea that you apply on the body is simply tailored for the body. But that cosmetic, that the Eucerin, the Olive Olay, or the L'Oreal that you're applying has got active ingredients that the skin needs. It's important for us to deliver those active ingredients to the skin. How do we do that? We'll do that through a moisturizer and a serum. Serum are very, very important. Why? Because they contain concentrated amounts of this active ingredient. So serums are very, very concentrated. That's why we should use them. Okay. The good thing about them is that they're just very light and they're easily absorbed and can be layered. Question comes, so Doc, now that I applied my serum, do I need a moisturizer? You would, I'm sure we all know this, that after applying a serum, you'll not feel nicely moisturized. So it is important then to layer on a moisturizer. You don't feel like you've put icing on your skin, no, because they're very, very light. And then you just put a moisturizer. You just wait for them to be absorbed, 5-10 minutes, for them to be nicely absorbed to the skin, to set, and then you apply a moisturizer on top of your serum. We apply serums in the morning and the evening. Okay, what is the use of the serum? So these serums, they say they contain active ingredients. So these ingredients will address concerns such as wrinkles, your acne, your dry skin, if you have dry skin, and that dullness, that we get as we age. Therefore, helping with the skin appearing as smooth, radiant, and plumpy which is what we want. So it's very important to use a serum. Please take home message. What types of serums do we have there? We have, I'm sure you've seen, just like I saw yesterday, we have all types of serums. But everything these days contains vitamin C. Sure you've seen this. So now people get excited and say, but I do have vitamin C in my moisturizer. I can just pick this one and leave that one. Which one do I pick? It's very, very, the potency is important. Branding is important. So maybe the doctors in the house would say, me and them will understand that there's a lot of science that goes into having a final product, into producing a final product. A lot of science and a lot of research goes behind. So we want to use efficacious things. We want to use things that will work on your animal skin. Otherwise, you'll be excited and buy vitamin C that a friend has made in their kitchen. Is it going to get absorbed? Is it going to get absorbed? Or it's just going to sit there in your skin, Jay? So it's important to support our friends, but we want something that is efficacious, that is potent, that we know is going to work. Otherwise, some other company will make their vitamin C and put it in clicks, but it is just waste the science. So we like the science. Okay. So, and again, I'm sure you've realized, these things are very, very expensive. Vitamin C, for the ladies who use vitamin C, I'm sure they've realized how expensive vitamin C is. But why do we need vitamin C? Vitamin C is the powerhouse of serums. There's just no way you cannot be using vitamin C. Ladies, please, I beg, please today or when at month end, next month, on your budget, please fit in vitamin C. It is the gold standard in your skincare. Why? It's an antioxidant. So antioxidants, they mop up, they help by cleaning up toxins. The body itself, through its physiological processes, we produce a lot of toxins on the skin. The air has got a lot of toxins. And I can't stress enough the damage brought in by the sun, the radiation from the sun. We've got two types of aging. One, we've got intrinsic aging, which is genetic. Some people will be 70 and still look like they're 50. They're lucky enough to have good genes. That is just genetic aging. And then we have extrinsic aging, which we can fight. We can't fight intrinsic aging. It's genetically programmed. Okay, but we can work on extrinsic aging, which is brought by the sun. I love people who run. I love my runners, but Dr. Magongo. But, you cannot be running in the sun at 11, 12. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm a dermatologist, I'm sorry. So I don't advise them to wear the visor, sunscreen, and that thing that they wrap on their faces. I always say, maybe that's just protecting themselves from the sun. I like that, when they wrap their face with that, and you can just see that small portion of the face, and they wear their glasses. It's very, very important to protect yourself from the sun. Okay, so I advise my sports people to run during the night up to 10 a.m. in the morning and after 4. Okay, yeah, so vitamin C will protect you from the terrible sun rays from the sun. It will mop up all the toxins on the skin, those that come from the inside and the outside, because all those will contribute to your extrinsic aging, okay? It also plumps up the skin by promoting the formation of collagen, which then improves the appearance of wrinkles. And then it will also even out skin tone. It also improves acne, and we apply it in the morning. So vitamin C is not applied in the night, it's applied in the morning. It's a very sensitive molecule. So after cleansing, remember we use a pH-balanced cleanser, whether it's a bar or a cleanser, because vitamin C itself is acidic. So if you're going to use soap, which is alkaline, like the favorite Sunlight, I'm sorry to make an example of that, because most people use Sunlight. It's alkaline, and then you apply your vitamin C on a skin that is now alkaline because of the soap that you use. Now this thing is not going to work because it will be neutralized by that alkaline pH. So it's very important now to use the proper moisturizer so that it does not deactivate the next product that you're going to apply. So it's very important to apply vitamin C, ladies and gentlemen. Which brand would you choose? That is actually personal, and it is money dependent, you know. But what is important that your vitamin C should be 10% upwards, so 10 to 20% concentration. And then the science, well, we will go with, you know, your La Roche-Posay, your Eucerin, your L'Oreal. Those are really trusted brands, and they have science to back up their products. Okay, and then the second one that, use that one on the morning only, not in the evening, because it also helps, you know, to protect your skin from the UV radiation from the sun, so you can use it at night. You start with your vitamin C serum. It's very sensitive. It will be deactivated if you apply it on top of another product. Okay, and then there's hyaluronic acid. I'm sure you've seen that. When do we use hyaluronic acid? It's just better to use it in the evening because you'll have your vitamin C in the morning, and then in the evening you use your hyaluronic-based serum. Okay, concentration. Concentration is very, very important. So when you buy your thing, just look quickly on the fine print to see how concentrated that serum is. Otherwise, it will not deliver the necessary promises that it has. Okay, so hyaluronic acid, apply at night. But you can apply it in the morning, in the evening. But if you've applied your vitamin C in the morning rather than apply it at night. Okay, so what does it promise? It promises to deliver deep moisturization to the skin. So if you've got a dry skin, it's very, very important then to add hyaluronic acid. But even if you're like me, you don't have dry skin, it's just very important, you know, to deeply moisturize that skin so that it can appear smooth, and radiant. It also has either that moisturizing, it has anti-aging effects. It reduces the appearance of fine lines, fine wrinkles, promotes a plump, firm, revitalized appearance. Okay, and it is the nice thing about it, it's suitable for all skin types, while vitamin C can be a bit harsh. You know, and then the other one. So those are the two most main important ones. Really, is the vitamin C, is the and then the hyaluronic acid, and then the other one is niacinamide, which is also, you know, an antioxidant, anti-aging, hydrating, also even adds skin tone. And then there's the retinols, which are also very, very important. So your retinols will come in the form of serums or in the form of a prescription. With prescription is high percentage retinols for skin that has acne, but can tolerate retinoids as well, because they can be harsh when you use it for the first time. I'm sure you've all realized that if you've used a retinol. So with skincare, I mentioned that vitamin C is key. You cannot have a skincare routine without vitamin C. You cannot have a skincare routine without a retinol. It is very, very important to use a retinol. It is one of the powerful anti-aging things out in the market. It is the first anti-aging molecule. We use it for acne, but it is also a powerful molecule to use for anti-aging. So you can start with the one that you see on the shop. High concentration is very important. And then you can move to a prescription one. You can just ask your GP when you go to see them to prescribe a retinol for you. Once your skin is used to using retinol, since they can be harsh at first. Okay, then our moisturizers. So now we've cleansed, we've toned, we've used the serum, and then now we're going to follow with the moisturizer. We did mention that serums aren't moisturizing enough. They're very light. They're just there to deliver actives onto the skin. So maybe you after 5-10 minutes of using a serum, you apply a moisturizer. Okay, why is it important to moisturize? So moisturizing, we all know that it will hydrate your skin, it will make it smooth, and it will just improve the barrier function of the skin. It also have active ingredients, but they're not as potent as the ones in a serum. So that's why it's very important really to depend on a serum rather than a moisturizer. So we choose moisturizers depending on the type of the skin. If you have a dry skin, we know that you'll use a cream. So we've got different ones really. There's a lotion, those one that comes in a big bottle. There's the tub. So if you've got your oily skin, you would rather go for a lotion because the lotion contains less oils. And then if you've got dry skin, you will go for the more creamier ones. Those ones have a lot of oils in them. And then, as well, if you've got combination skin, it's very important to have two moisturizers, unfortunately. On the dry parts, you'll use your cream, and then on the oily part, which is the T-zone, you will use your lotions or your gel type of moisturizers. Okay, and then we've got emollients. Those are the thick ones for our babies or to use in the winter, because we all know that during winter, the skin gets dry. So we do tend then to use different moisturizers for different seasons. In the winter, you cannot be using, unfortunately, I'm sure you've all realized, you cannot be using the same moisturizer that you used in the summer because the skin is dry, the air is less humid, so you need to use now a moisturizer that delivers a lot of oils onto the skin. So in the winter, it's very advisable to change into a thicker moisturizer or just to enhance a lotion with an oil, like we do with glycerin. I'm sure in the winter, we all add glycerin onto our moisturizer, but that then is good for the body. For the face, just move from a lotion to a thicker thing like a cream. Okay, so we've done that. So remember that for sensitive skin, we want to avoid anything that is alcohol containing. It's also very important to exfoliate the skin. That you do maybe once or twice a week. So what exfoliating will do is, it will unclog the pores, to unclog and shrink the pores. It also helps with reducing fine lines. It will also minimize the look of scars. And it just gives that skin a healthy glow. So don't use too much of it because it might just damage the skin. For us, older ladies, once in 6 weeks or once in 8 weeks, we go for things that are called skin peels. I'm sure that you've all heard about those. So you'll have your exfoliator and your cream that you get from Clicks, which you can use just once or twice a week. But 8 weeks, 3 weeks, if you can, you go to do a skin peel, which is a chemical exfoliator. It will just improve wrinkles it's strong now, so it will help with the wrinkles, with the pigment, and just a radiant skin overall. Okay, so the other thing that is very, very important is to use sunscreen. So with your skincare, it is cleansing. It is a serum. Serum being a vitamin C, very important, a retinol, and sunscreen. There is no complete, skincare routine without sunscreen. Very, very important to use sunblock. Because we said extrinsic aging, it's mainly caused by the sun. We're lucky that with us black people, it will not cause so much of cancer, although it can. But we know that for the Caucasian skin, the sun will also cause cancer. For us, it is mainly aging. So it's very important to use sunscreen. And it is not weather or season dependent. We use sunscreen every day because the sun never goes away from the sky. It just gets covered by the clouds. And the sun rays can actually penetrate through the clouds. And the bad sun rays that cause aging are the ones that can really penetrate nicely through the clouds. So it's very important to use sunscreen even in winter and during a cloudy, rainy day. So we use our sunscreen daily, like I've said, regardless of weather, regardless of season, because premature aging is mainly caused by the sun. All right, so we want to avoid that. And how do we use our sunscreen? We apply it 30 minutes before leaving the house. I know this gets a bit, we all have a hectic schedule, but it's just important to apply it 30 minutes before while you prepare the kids, for school. And then if you are in the sun, on a holiday in the beach, or you're doing whatever sun activities, it's very important to apply it every 2 hours. And you all know that you will apply it after sweating and after swimming. Very, very important. People will go to the beach and come back, tanned, sunburn, but I've been applying my sunscreen. The thing is, did we apply it correctly? All right? And how much of sunscreen do we apply? Very, very tricky, We're all saving. These things are very expensive, and we don't want that shiny, whitish residue on our skin, so we tend to apply a little bit. With serums, a little bit goes a long way. Serums, a little bit goes a long way. You see how that TikTok video that I saw, it's a very, very tiny thing like that, Vitamin C goes a very long way, very expensive. So just a little goes a long way with serums, but not with sunscreen. We really have to apply enough of it for it to be effective. So what do they recommend? They recommend that you apply half a teaspoon, 2 or 3, imagine, from there to there, spread it from there to there, line from there to there, a line from there to there, for it to be enough for the face and neck. Sunscreen, very, very important. 2 hours before you leave the house, apply enough amounts. If you're in the sun or doing sun sports, reapply. Remember that to also apply it, not just the face and all sun-exposed areas, especially if you're on the beach or doing sun activities. Okay, so we've discussed this. So why do we need to apply our sunscreens? Main reason for us ladies really is prevent the aging, to slow down the aging process for Caucasian skin, and for us also for the prevention of skin cancer. Also very important, ladies, to reduce discolorations. Sunscreen, very, very important. As we age, we tend to get a lot of pigment, and we can think, this is an overnight process. Aging and pigmentation are not an overnight process. It's a cumulative process. Not unless you've had a pimple, obviously it will heal with pigmentation. But those fine spots that we get, it's usually, a lifetime thing. So it's very important to reduce discoloration. That will naturally occur by using sunscreen. Okay. How do we choose our sunscreens? They should be broad spectrum. It's very important when you buy it to look, is it broad spectrum? Because if it is broad spectrum, it will protect you from your, there's different type of rays that comes out of the sun. There's UVB, it's usually written UVB, UVA. So it will protect you from UVB, UVA. We make sure that it does those two. And then the newer sunscreens, they'll also protect us from visible light. The question comes, do I apply my sunscreen if I'm just sitting in the house? Yes. Why? Because the sun rays can penetrate the windows. You'll be sitting... it's very important. Sun rays will penetrate windows, especially those that cause aging. The UVA to penetrate through the window, important to wear sunscreen. And besides, you will go out, to take your trash, to feed the dog, to do whatever, or to go to the garden. So we do apply sunscreen even if you're sitting in the house. Very important, these lamps, they emanate, visible light. Our phones, the computer screen do emit light, visible light, which also contributes to aging. So it's very important to use it even if you're in the house. Very also important to look at the SPF, which is the sun protective factor. It should be 30 to 50. For our young ladies, 30 is okay. But for us, I think it's important. For us, older generation, it's very important to use a sunscreen of SPF 50+, because it offers a maximum protection. The newer sunscreens, they have they are combined with vitamin C and vitamin E. It's preferable to pick the sunscreen. As we've mentioned, vitamin C is an antioxidant. Vitamin E is also an antioxidant. So it does have those added benefits. And then these days, I'm sure you get confused. Okay, I've seen broad spectrum, tick the box. UVA, UVB, tick the box. SPF, ticks the box. And then now you find, okay, additional thing now, it is tinted. What do I do? Which one do I pick? I get calls. Hey, I'm here to red clicks. Now there's a tinted one. What do we do now? Tinted sunscreens actually do have added benefits. Unfortunately for us dark-skinned ladies, they can leave that whitish residue. If you can get one that fits your skin perfectly, you're lucky and perfect. You go with that one. So this one offers more benefits. It even absorbs more light rays. Just the problem with the color with us dark-skinned ladies. We're about to finish, and then just talk briefly about acne. It is very, very important to have your acne treated as early as possible. Why? Because you want to avoid the things that you complain about the most, about the scarring and the pigmentation. It's also very, very important to treat it in our children because, it's not like the old days, my days, where they said, hi, you'll outgrow it. It doesn't work like that. These days, it's a different generation, I'm sure you've realized. It does, really affect their self-esteem negatively. So it's very important for you to have it treated as early as possible. But over the counter, you can get a cleanser, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen tailored for acne-prone skin.